Today I want to talk about the importance of checking source models. We receive files that come from Clo, BrazeWare, KeyShot, Moto, 3ds Max, Substance Painter, really any 3D program out there, you name it, we've received it, Rhino. And what'll happen oftentimes is that they'll either upload it to the platform or we'll upload it or they'll put it somewhere else and they'll be like, this doesn't look right. And the assumption is often that it's an error that could be happening on VNTANA's end or another platform. The reality is most of the programs you're using were set up for renders. They were set up for 2D renders, which means everything can happen within that program. And little thought has been given to exporters in many cases. They're getting better, but there are still lots and lots of issues. And so one of the best skills that someone who's trying to learn more about 3D or grow their 3D career is learning more about real-time materials, PBR, and then figuring out what the differences are when you're coming out of your source program. So loading it into the Kronos model viewer, for instance, is a great way to validate your GLTF and see, hey, is that material missing? Does that look wrong in a neutral format before it's been optimized, before it's been converted, before anything else has happened? Also Blender. So oftentimes pretend that your workflow is just to go into Blender. If you import your file into Blender and it doesn't look correct, guess what? It's probably something that's wrong from the source program that you use to create that original 3D design file. People are pretty hesitant to switch away. They love maybe VRAD or V-Ray for rendering, and there are some amazing capabilities that are there, but they really need to start thinking more about how can I incorporate real-time workflows for my materials into what I'm doing every day? Because it's going to become a forcing function. It's going to become a limiting function, and it's pretty much unavoidable. It doesn't mean that you won't be using regular 2D renders, but if you're not figuring out what a real-time workflow looks like for your organization, you're going to be left behind. It's going to be extremely frustrating, and frankly, it's going to be preventing growth on the 3D side in a really big way. The other thing I'd encourage users to do is make sure they're reporting these as feature requests to the DCC programs. I mean, there are software companies too, so I'm sure they're inundated with lots and lots of requests, but it's really important that they hear from you, the customer, saying, we want this. We want support for valid GLBs coming out of it, or even an FBX. It doesn't really matter as long as it's getting all of the maps, all of the detail, and presented in a way that's readable by other programs. There's been a lot of these DCCs are kind of locked down, and sometimes that's by design, but the reality is it's going to limit and inhibit the growth of your company if you are tied exclusively to that ecosystem. So it's really important that you request that the exports coming from these programs give you something that's true to what you're seeing in your viewer window when you're working in them. That's it for today.